How's it going, guys? My name is Oliver and welcome to another Acolyte tutorial. Today I'm going to be going over how to make this cool SPAG HEDDY type Riddim bass. This isn't from any specific song, but I found that it sounded pretty similar to his track That's Right. So I'm not going to do it based on his track. Instead, I actually made a little demo thing of my own just to kind of show off all the things that you can do with this sound, and then after playing that, we'll go through how to make it. So let's jump right into this. So I'm gonna play the demo in 3, 2, 1. Cool. So the one that we're gonna be making is this. And also, if you guys want to hear how I made this first little hit here, it's kind of like a Skrillex type hit, then let me know in the comments and that will be the next video. Okay, without further ado, let's jump into this. Okay, so here it is. Nice. So that's pretty much the whole sound. It sounds pretty disgusting when you just have it on its own, but with the right context, I think it can sound really good in the track. Okay, so first of all, let's turn off all these filters, bloop, 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 all those effects, and alright, so this is what we have just normally. Actually, I'm going to take off all this stuff too. That's all the post-processing, so even if you download the preset, still watch until the end of the video so that you can see how I process this, because right now, yeah. So I use Dist Bass Dropper from Digital. There it is. 16 voices, detune all the way down, blend all the way up. Random is at 21%, and phase is at 248 degrees. Wavetable position is at 30, and level is all the way down. Oscillator B is just basic shapes. Just basic shapes. 16 voices again. Detune is at 0.56. Blend is all the way up. Phase is at 131 degrees and random is at 17%. Level all the way down. And wavetable position is at 4, so you get the square wave. And that's it for the oscillators. Oh, and also we have a sub oscillator on with a saw wave at 0 octaves. And by the way, I'm playing in F2 to get this note. Yeah, so I've got that on 0, saw wave, no direct out, and level is all the way down to be modulated. So the first filter we have on is an all pass, which I think SPAG HEDDY likes to use a little bit. So I've got the cutoff at 4,332 hertz. Resonance all the way down, dampening is at 83%, and drive is all the way down, and level. So to get to level, it's normally mix. You've got a little box here. If you click mix and put it to level, you can kind of tell it how loud you want the filter to be once it's done filtering the sound. So this is it with everything. Effects. So we've got hyperdimension, detune is at 25%, rate is at 22%, and mix is at 53%. Dimension, size is at 22%, mix is at 21%. Phase is all the way down, depth is at 26%, frequency is at 88 hertz, feed is at 80%, didn't touch phase, and mix is at 25%. In terms of the second filter, we've got a high notch, so you go into multi, high notch. So we've got the cutoff at 30 hertz, resonance is at 69%, drive is at 19%, and frequency is at 62%, and mix is all the way up. Nice. And now, of course, the multiband compression. So we've got multiband checked. Threshold is at negative 10.2 decibels. Didn't touch a ratio. didn't touch the attack, release is at 90 milliseconds, and gain is all the way down. Nice. So this time I put the distortion after the compression. I just found that works better. I've heard people say a lot that you want the distortion before the compression, which is true in a lot of cases, but if it sounds better after, then why not? Like, they're not going to be able to tell. So you've got a hard clip here, and drive is at 64%, and it sounds like this. Chorus, I got the rate at 13.59 Hertz. Delay 1 is at 1.2 milliseconds. Delay 2 is at 1.8. Depth is at 10.5 milliseconds. Feed is at 42%. Low pass filter is all the way up, and mix is all the way down. And an EQ. Frequency of the first band is at 65 Hertz. Q is at 65%, and didn't touch the gain because it's a cutoff. Second band, we've got it on peak, and the frequency is at 1424 Hertz. Q is at 64%, and gain is down at negative 15.8. And this is what it's doing. Cool. And last but not least, we've got the reverb at Hall. Size all the way down. Decay is at 1.7 seconds. Low cut is at 16%. High cut is at 35%. Spin didn't touch. Spin depth is at 32%. And the mix is at 20%. It just gives it that extra kind of roomy feel. So that's it for the effects. Pretty quick. Now for the LFOs. So LFO 1, let's find it. So LFO 1 is on oscillator A detune, and it's going up 74, and it's going down negative 54 on the wavetable position. And the amount that you put it down here does actually matter, even though it goes into that red line, because the further you put it down, the faster it's going to reach the 0 of the knob turn. Okay, Lfo 2 is on a lot of stuff. This is what makes the whole value-ness of the entire thing. So on the first filter, the all-pass filter, we've only got it on oscillator A and the noise, which I don't have on anymore, so you don't like. So on the cutoff, I've got it going down 64, on the resonance up 26, on the drive going up 21, and on the dampening going down 74. Hyperdimension none. Phase, I've got it on the frequency going up just 7, and then on the mix going up 39. On the filter, I've got it going up on the cutoff 33, and on the frequency going down negative 25. Rate going down negative 28, and the mix going up 100 on the chorus. EQ on the frequency of the first band is going up 32, and going down 17 on the frequency of the second band. And that's it, I believe. Alright, Lfo 3 is just for the volume of the whole thing. I've got it on the levels of each of the oscillators. So on oscillator A, it's going up 79%. Not percent, just 79. Going up 63 on the volume of oscillator B, and then I've got it going up 45 on the sub oscillator. And that's what these all look like. Oh, I never went over this stuff. So on the first one, I've got it on envelope. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I have all of them on envelopes. Lfo 2, keep the rate at 1/4. They're all at 1/4. Pretty much do this for all of them, the same knobs. And that's it. So now we'll go on to the post-processing. So we'll start with the saturation knob, just to get some distortion. That's a lot nicer. Now an EQ to take out some bass. I also dropped these frequencies here, and I boosted these because it makes it sound more valley. Nice. Next, Serum Effects again. And I've got another multiband compressor on it. So I've got the threshold at negative 10.1 decibels and the release is at 618.6 milliseconds. I didn't touch anything else. And we've got multiband on. Yeah. Cool. Another EQ, cutting out the bass, because when you put a multiband compressor on, it kind of adds some frequencies in the bass section. So I just cut that out again, dropped these frequencies a little bit, and boosted the high end like up here, but it was getting a little bit too screechy for me. So I wanted to hear more of the warm high end and cut out all like the piercing high end, if that makes any sense. Cool. Now we have, oh, so this is just a free, this is a free plugin, Ambience. And so what it does is, when I put it on, the default is wet is at 0 decibels and dry is at infinite quietness. So this is what I use to make the bass like kind of slowly rise in, like in a variation or something. So I'll show you what I mean here. Like that, except a little cleaner because you automate it. Yeah, so that's why I have that on there. And the last thing I did was just put a stereo enhancer and made it more mono. We'll keep it there. And that's your sound. Oh yeah, so that's where I use the ambience. So see this? It's this automation here. Cool. And you probably didn't even notice it until I put it in, which is what you want. You don't want people to notice things but still hear them, if that makes any sense. Oh, so what I did to make the bass hit a little bit harder is I put these little perk hits underneath. Because without them, it just kind of adds to the character of the sound. It makes it hit harder. And that's something that's used by a lot of professionals, I think. Yeah, there's a little technique to add into your tracks. But that's it, pretty much. And this is the mastered version of the song, so prepare your ears. Cool. So if you guys enjoyed, please forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.